Ladies and gentlemen, when all hope is lost, remember that darkness is only the absence of light, not its death. Your scars are proof you survived storms, not signs of defeat. Stand tall, for even broken wings can learn to fly again. True strength is not something we discover when life is smooth and predictable. It is forged in the fires of our most hopeless moments. When everything around us seems to crumble and the future feels like an endless void, that is when the real test begins. Hopelessness has a way of stripping us bare, removing all illusions of control, and leaving us face to face with our rawest, most vulnerable selves. It is in this space, uncomfortable and frightening as it may be, that we encounter the untapped depths of our resilience. Many people assume that strength is about never falling, but in truth, it is about finding the will to rise every single time we do fall, even when we feel we have nothing left to give. When life closes doors we desperately wanted open, when dreams we cherished shatter into unrecognizable fragments, there is a natural temptation to give in to despair. Yet, hidden within these moments is an invitation to rebuild, not the life we once had, but a stronger, wiser version of ourselves. In hopelessness, we learn the art of patience. Because healing and change rarely arrive overnight, we also learn humility. Because we begin to understand that our journey is not solely shaped by what we desire, but also by how we respond to what we cannot control. This transformation does not happen with grand gestures. Often it begins with the smallest acts: getting out of bed when you'd rather hide, speaking words of kindness to yourself when your mind is filled with self-doubt, choosing to take one step forward when you feel like standing still. Every choice in these moments is a declaration that hopelessness will not define you. It teaches us to rely less on circumstances and more on inner conviction, to build our identity not around what we have lost, but around what we are becoming. The storms we survive become part of our story, not as chapters of defeat, but as proof that our spirit can endure the weight of unimaginable pain. And slowly, as we keep moving, even with trembling steps, we begin to see that strength was never about avoiding hardship, but about walking through them and discovering that we are far more capable than we ever imagined. Even in the darkest times, when the weight of pain feels unbearable and the future appears as nothing but a blurred shadow, there is a quiet power that lies within the human spirit. Self-belief is not about ignoring the chaos around you. It is about choosing to believe in your ability to rise, even when everything in you feels broken. Courage in such moments is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep moving despite it. When hopelessness wraps itself around your life, it often tries to convince you that this is the end of your story. But deep in, there is always a spark waiting to be reignited. Pain can be a cruel teacher, yet it often teaches the most important lessons about perseverance, about valuing the smallest victories, and about discovering purpose in places you never thought to look. Self-belief acts like a bridge between despair and hope, allowing you to step forward when the ground beneath you feels unstable. Courage becomes the compass that guides you when you can no longer see the way ahead. Brokenness has a strange way of reshaping our vision. It strips away superficial desires and reveals what truly matters. In those moments, you begin to see that every wound carries a hidden message, a seed of transformation. Life has a way of using even the sharpest pain to carve something meaningful into your journey. Sometimes the most beautiful beginnings are born from the ashes of what once felt like an ending. When you dare to believe in yourself during the lowest points, you open the door for healing to end. And when you choose courage over fear, you allow your broken pieces to become part of something stronger and more resilient than before. It is in this process that pain transforms into purpose, not all at once, but in small, steady shifts that eventually change the entire landscape of your life. You begin to understand that your scars are not signs of weakness, but symbols of survival. proof that you have endured what was meant to break you, and have emerged with a story worth telling. The courage to stand again, the belief to try again, and the willingness to embrace your scars become the building blocks of a life rebuilt on strength and meaning. In conclusion, this speech reflects that when life feels empty and hope seems lost, the strength within us can still rise. With self-belief and courage, every wound can become a lesson, every setback a new beginning, and even the darkest path can lead toward light.